I started preaching really young, and let me tell you just a quick story about that. My father was a pastor, and I went to go see, in our denomination, we have directors of missions, and they're kind of regional ministers that minister to several churches in the area. And they're the person that knows if there's a church without a pastor. And so I'm 17 years old, and I go to see Strauss Atkinson, who is a friend of the family, has sat under my mama's table many times, and was the director of missions. I sat across the desk from him and said, "Brother Strauss, you may know God's called me to preach." He says, "Yes, I've heard that, Jimmy. Larry's told me." That's my dad. Larry's told me about that. I said, "Well, I'm ready. Have you got a church where I can go?" He did exactly what you're doing. He started laughing. He started laughing. About maybe 4 months later, I got a call. I was working at a furniture store, and he called where I worked and asked to speak to me. I went into the manager's office to talk to him. He says, "Jimmy, there's a little church that's 90 miles away from the college where you attend, and they're about to close the doors. They just have 3 people left. And they called me and asked, can I get them one more preacher?" He said, "Will you go?" I said, "Absolutely." I preached at rest homes. I preached to the homeless. Now, let me just be totally honest with you. When I was in high school, I preached to the family chickens. Man, when you got a message burning inside
Let's
of you,
go to the chickens.
to the chickens. That was where I learned to lay
get
eggs
saved?
while I was preaching. Yeah. But let me answer this outside of my own experience, is that there are marginalized people, and there are places in rest homes and homeless places and those kinds of things. I've seen people go under the bridge and ask homeless people if they would gather for the Word of God, and I've seen them open up to do that. The truth is, you won't learn how to preach by listening to us talk about preaching. You learn how to preach by preaching.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, brother, God has called you. You get out there and do it somewhere. There's got to be a chicken farm somewhere.
Oh, so good.